You may think your breakfast is harmless, maybe even healthy. But what if I told you that the one thing you eat every single morning could be the reason you're feeling tired by 10 a.m., struggling with muscle loss, or experiencing joint stiffness that never quite goes away? For seniors, breakfast is not just another meal. It's the fuel that either builds your body up or breaks it down faster than you realize. And yet, many of us are still starting our days with foods that look innocent, but are secretly draining our strength, weakening our digestion, and speeding up aging from the inside out. In today's video, we're revealing the 4 worst breakfast foods that could be harming your health, and the 4 best that will power up your muscles, balance your energy, and help you feel stronger every day. Welcome to Forever Strong Seniors, where we turn everyday choices into lifelong strength. Hello, friends. I'm so glad you're here with me today. This video is one I truly believe every older adult needs to watch. Not next week, but right now. Why? Because it's about one of the most overlooked yet powerful moments in your entire day: breakfast. Most of us were told as kids that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But as we age, that childhood wisdom takes on a whole new level of urgency. After a night of fasting, your aging body is more sensitive to blood sugar changes. Your muscles are more vulnerable to breakdown. And every bite you take in the morning either helps preserve your strength or quietly chips away at it. Let's begin with the very first breakfast food you need to stop eating immediately, especially if you've been feeling more sluggish, gaining weight around the belly, or noticing your joints getting stiffer each morning. Cereal. It's easy, it's familiar, and it's something many older adults still pour into a bowl each morning, thinking it's a lighter option. But what you may not know is that this habit could be silently sabotaging your health. Many popular breakfast cereals are nothing more than sugar bombs in disguise. Even the ones with heart-healthy claims or whole grains on the box can be loaded with refined sugar, artificial flavors, and very little real nutrition. These cereals give you a quick spike in blood sugar, which may feel energizing at first, but it doesn't last. In fact, that sugar rush is usually followed by a hard crash. You go from feeling alert to exhausted. You get irritable. You lose motivation to move or stay active. And worst of all, your body enters a cycle of blood sugar spikes and crashes that promotes muscle breakdown, especially if you're not eating enough protein and healthy fats. For seniors, this cycle is dangerous. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia. And once it starts, it accelerates quickly if we don't intervene with the right foods. Dennis McCauley is a 77-year-old retired carpenter from Lincoln, Nebraska. For decades, he started each day with a bowl of sugary bran flakes, thinking it was better than bacon and eggs. But over time, Dennis noticed something troubling. His knees started aching more, his morning walks felt harder, and by mid-morning, he could barely keep his eyes open. At first, he thought it was just part of getting older. But after a nutrition consultation with his daughter, who's a registered dietitian, Dennis realized his breakfast was doing more harm than good. He made one simple change: swapping sugary cereal for steel-cut oats, topped with walnuts and fresh blueberries. In just a few weeks, Dennis felt more energized, his joint stiffness decreased, and he found himself walking farther without fatigue. His muscle tone even began to improve, surprising both him and his doctor. Here's what makes sugary cereals especially dangerous for older adults. They lack fiber and contain very little protein, which means you feel hungry sooner and may overeat later. They cause rapid blood sugar fluctuations, worsening insulin resistance, a common issue after 60. They offer empty calories, with almost no real nutrients that your muscles, bones, or brain need. That colorful box might look cheerful, but it hides a metabolic trap. Your body is quietly paying the price for the convenience. The good news? You don't need to give up a bowl and spoon breakfast. You just need to upgrade it. Start your day with whole grain oats, not the instant kind, but the kind that still retains its fiber and nutrients. Add in a handful of nuts like almonds or walnuts for healthy fats, and top it with berries for antioxidants and natural sweetness. Not only will this kind of breakfast keep you full longer, but it will also help your body maintain lean muscle mass, support your joints, and give you stable energy all morning long. And that's just the beginning. In the next part of this video, we'll uncover another healthy breakfast item that many seniors drink every day, one that may be doing even more damage than cereal. Spoiler alert, it's something you pour into a glass and think is packed with vitamins. If you've ever had orange juice with your breakfast, you'll want to hear this. Picking up from where we left off, let's talk about that morning glass of juice. You know the one. Maybe it's orange juice, maybe apple or grape. It's sweet, it's familiar, and for years it's been served alongside toast or eggs like a symbol of a balanced breakfast. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This daily habit might be doing more harm than good, especially if you're over 60. Fruit juice, even when labeled as 100% pure or no sugar added, is still a concentrated source of sugar. The key difference is what's missing: fiber. You see, when you eat a whole orange, you're also getting the fiber that helps slow down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. But when you drink juice, all that fiber is stripped away, leaving behind liquid sugar that rushes into your system like a tidal wave. And for older adults, that sugar surge doesn't just vanish. Your body processes it more slowly now. Insulin sensitivity declines with age, and so every high spike comes with a bigger crash. That crash can leave you feeling tired, foggy, and drained, not to mention the long-term toll on your muscles and joints. Let me tell you about someone who learned this the hard way. Gloria Trenton, a 71-year-old retired school counselor from Richmond, Virginia, started every morning with a tall glass of orange juice. She believed it was healthy, full of vitamin C, and a great way to hydrate. But over time, she noticed a pattern. She'd feel energized for maybe half an hour, and then her energy would dip sharply. She started feeling lightheaded in the late morning, and her legs often felt heavy after her morning walk. At first, she blamed age, but when she visited a nutritionist, it became clear. Her morning juice was the culprit. Gloria replaced that glass of juice with a smoothie made from spinach, frozen berries, and a scoop of plant-based protein. Not only did it keep her fuller longer, but her morning fatigue disappeared. She said she finally felt like her mornings belonged to her again, not to her blood sugar roller coaster. And she's not alone. That post-juice crash happens to many seniors. Because juice doesn't fill you up, you're more likely to snack later on. Because it spikes your sugar, it prompts more insulin. And because it lacks fiber, you miss out on one of the most powerful tools your body has for regulating digestion, supporting muscle recovery, and protecting your heart. It's easy to assume that because juice comes from fruit, it must be good. But the truth is, fruit in its whole form behaves very differently in your body. Chewing, digesting, and slowly absorbing the nutrients from real fruit provides your system with steady fuel, not a blast of sugar that it can't handle all at once. So, if juice is off the menu, what's a better option? Water's a great start. Add lemon, cucumber, or mint if you want a little flavor. Better yet, blend your fruit into a smoothie with some leafy greens, protein, and even a spoonful of nut butter. That way, you keep the fiber, balance the sugar, and give your body what it really craves: sustained, stable energy. And while we're on the subject of misleading breakfast choices, let's move on to one that's often found in fridges labeled as healthy, light, or low-calorie, but quietly sets the stage for muscle loss and energy dips. I'm talking about low-fat yogurt. Now I get it. For decades, fat was made out to be the villain of the nutrition world. We were told to eat low-fat everything. But now we know better. Not all fats are created equal. And in fact, your body needs healthy fats, especially as you age. They help absorb key vitamins like D and E, support hormone balance, and provide essential fuel for your brain and muscles. Low-fat yogurts remove that fat. And what do many brands do to make it taste better? They load it up with sugar. So, instead of nourishing your body, you're now eating something that spikes your blood sugar, leaves you unsatisfied, and fails to provide what your muscles truly need: protein and fat. Let's take a look at someone who went through this exact situation. Diane Calderon, a 75-year-old retired librarian from Spokane, Washington, made it a habit to eat flavored low-fat yogurt every morning, thinking it was a smart, light breakfast. But over time, she noticed that she wasn't building muscle the way she used to. Her strength training sessions left her more sore than energized, and she kept wondering why she felt hungry again just an hour later. After attending a community health seminar, Diane decided to try full-fat Greek yogurt instead. She added chia seeds and fresh berries. Within a month, she noticed real changes. Her energy was more consistent. She wasn't craving snacks before lunch, and her physical therapist even commented on her improved strength and muscle tone. It was a simple shift, but it gave her body the fuel it had been missing. Yogurt doesn't have to be the enemy. It can actually be a wonderful breakfast food, if you choose the right kind. Full-fat versions, especially Greek yogurt, are rich in protein, healthy fats, and probiotics that support gut health and immunity. These are exactly the kinds of nutrients seniors need more of, not less. We've been taught to fear fat, but the truth is that your muscles rely on it. Without it, your body struggles to absorb vitamins, recover from exercise, and maintain the energy levels you need to stay mobile and independent. The goal isn't to cut calories blindly, it's to fuel your body wisely. And now, we arrive at the final item in our list of breakfast foods to avoid. It's something you might not even consider a problem, because it feels so familiar. Maybe it's something you treat yourself to with your morning coffee. It looks small, soft, and innocent, but it's hiding a dangerous mix of ingredients that can wreak havoc on your blood sugar and muscles. Yes, I'm talking about the muffin. We'll explore exactly what makes muffins such a risky breakfast choice for older adults, and I'll share what to replace them with so you can still enjoy breakfast without compromising your health. That's all coming in part 3, where we'll wrap up the worst breakfast offenders and finally transition into the must-eat foods every senior should add to their plate. You won't want to miss it. We've talked about cereals, fruit juices, and low-fat yogurt. All breakfast choices that seem harmless on the surface, but can quietly chip away at your energy, muscles, and vitality as you age. Now it's time to take a look at one final common mistake, one that's often disguised as a light treat or a sweet way to start the morning. But it may be silently working against your efforts to stay active, strong, and independent. Let's talk about muffins. They're soft, convenient, and often show up as part of a quick breakfast or even at community brunches. Blueberry, banana, bran, you name it. Muffins may look innocent, but most of them are made with refined white flour, added sugars, and unhealthy fats that don't fuel your body. In fact, they may do the exact opposite. When you eat a muffin, your blood sugar shoots up fast. And as with sugary cereals and juice, what comes next is a crash, leaving you tired, mentally foggy, and craving more food just an hour or two later. But what's even more concerning is what's missing in that muffin. There's hardly any protein or fiber, two critical nutrients older adults need to maintain muscle and keep blood sugar stable. Let me introduce you to someone who learned this through personal experience. Vernon Harlow, a 73-year-old retired mail carrier from Eugene, Oregon, loved having a store-bought muffin with his coffee each morning. It felt like a cozy way to ease into the day. But over time, Vernon noticed he was waking up stiff. His knees ached more than usual, and his energy just didn't seem to last past mid-morning. After chatting with his daughter, who's a physical therapist, Vernon decided to change his breakfast habits. He swapped out his muffin for whole grain toast with avocado and a hard-boiled egg. The transformation was almost immediate. Within 2 weeks, he reported better digestion, more energy during his daily walks, and less joint pain. He even felt lighter, not in terms of weight, but in how his body moved and functioned. Muffins may seem like a harmless indulgence, but the combination of sugar and refined flour, with no real protein or good fat, sets you up for muscle loss, inflammation, and a weakened metabolism over time, especially if you're not balancing them with healthier choices throughout the day. But here's the good news. You can absolutely enjoy breakfast without sacrificing flavor or comfort. You just need to make the right swaps. And that's what we're about to explore now. Let's move from what you need to avoid to what you absolutely should add to your morning routine. Starting with one of the most important foundational breakfast ingredients, whole grains. Whole grains are more than just healthy carbs. They're loaded with fiber, B vitamins, and key minerals like magnesium and iron, nutrients your muscles and nervous system rely on every single day. Unlike refined grains, which are stripped of their nutrients during processing, whole grains retain their bran and germ, making them a slow-burning, long-lasting source of energy. Take, for example, Claire Marshall, a 76-year-old retired art teacher from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Claire had always started her day with white toast and jam, but as the years went by, she began to notice digestion issues, sluggish afternoons, and increasing stiffness in her legs. After attending a senior wellness workshop, she began replacing her white toast with a bowl of steel-cut oats, topped with sliced almonds and a few raspberries. The difference was profound. Her digestion improved, the dreaded afternoon slump disappeared, and her stamina during gardening increased noticeably. "I didn't expect something so simple to make such a difference," Claire shared, "but it truly changed how I feel throughout the day." Whole grains work because they stabilize blood sugar, which keeps your energy more even and reduces cravings later on. They also feed the beneficial bacteria in your gut, bacteria that play a surprisingly important role in everything from digestion to brain health. And when paired with protein and healthy fats, whole grains become the perfect breakfast base for seniors. Speaking of healthy fats, let's talk about another breakfast superstar, avocados. Avocados are more than just trendy. They're one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can add to your plate. Rich in monounsaturated fats, potassium, fiber, and antioxidants, avocados help reduce inflammation, support heart health, and, most importantly for older adults, aid in muscle recovery. Healthy fats aren't just extra calories. They're essential fuel for your muscles and brain. They help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, all of which play key roles in immune function, bone health, and muscle strength. And the potassium in avocados helps regulate fluid balance and prevents muscle cramps, which many seniors experience due to dehydration or electrolyte imbalances. Let's meet someone who saw real results. Janice Rowley, a 74-year-old retired florist from Tampa, Florida, had always been active, but over time, she began to feel sluggish after breakfast. She often blamed the Florida heat or aging itself, but once she began adding half an avocado to her morning, sometimes on toast, sometimes in a smoothie, things changed. Her energy was steadier. She recovered more quickly after walking, and her late morning hunger disappeared. Janice describes it best. "I feel more nourished now. Not stuffed, just satisfied, and ready to take on my day." Avocados are incredibly versatile. You can spread them on toast, blend them into smoothies, or even dice them into scrambled eggs for a creamy texture. Just half an avocado each morning can offer you the kind of fuel that protects your muscles, balances your energy, and helps reduce chronic inflammation. So, as we move deeper into the foods you should eat, we're not just talking about nutrients. We're talking about breakfast that truly works for your body, not against it. Coming up next, we'll dive into two final breakfast staples every senior should embrace. One is packed with protein, and the other delivers powerful antioxidants in every bite. These two additions may be small, but together, they can transform how you feel every single morning. That's all in next part, the final part of this video. Join me there. We're almost done, and the best is yet to come. We've made our way through some powerful breakfast shifts already. From ditching sugary cereals and juices to embracing whole grains and healthy fats like avocado. Each change has the potential to shape your morning and your overall vitality in ways that go far beyond the kitchen. Now let's talk about eggs. Humble, versatile, and deeply misunderstood. For years, people worried about the cholesterol in eggs. But modern nutrition research has shown that for most people, especially older adults, eggs are not the problem. In fact, they're one of the most complete and valuable sources of protein you can put on your plate. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using the protein we eat to rebuild muscle. That means we need to be more intentional about getting high-quality protein, especially at breakfast. And eggs provide exactly that. Each egg contains all 9 essential amino acids, the building blocks your muscles need for repair, recovery, and strength. But the benefits don't stop there. Eggs are also rich in vitamin D, choline, and healthy fats that support your brain, bones, and joints. For older adults, these nutrients help maintain muscle mass, reduce the risk of falls, and keep you feeling energized long after breakfast is over. Let me tell you about a gentleman named Curtis Barnes. Curtis is 79 and lives in a quiet neighborhood outside of Nashville, Tennessee. A retired mechanic, He spent decades on his feet, but over the past few years, he noticed his legs weren't as strong. His morning walks left him winded, and his hands would tire more quickly when doing small repairs around the house. He'd been starting his day with toast and a piece of fruit, thinking he was doing the right thing. But after a conversation with his doctor, Curtis began adding 2 scrambled eggs to his breakfast, sometimes with spinach or tomatoes, sometimes with whole grain toast. Within a few weeks, he noticed a clear difference. His strength began to come back. His walks were longer. His energy lasted past lunch. Curtis told me, "I didn't expect eggs to do all that, but now I wouldn't start my day without them." You don't need to do anything fancy. Boiled, scrambled, poached, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're giving your body fuel it recognizes, protein it can use, and a reason to keep building strength, even in your 70s or 80s. And finally, let's finish this breakfast list with a pop of color and a burst of nutrition berries. Whether it's blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, or blackberries, these little fruits are powerhouses of antioxidants. As we age, our bodies face more oxidative stress, tiny internal fires that, over time, can weaken muscles, damage joints, and slow recovery. Antioxidants are nature's way of putting out those fires, and berries are full of them. But there's more to the story. Berries are also rich in vitamin C, which supports collagen production, a key element in keeping your tendons, ligaments, and joints healthy. They also offer fiber, which improves digestion and helps keep blood sugar stable. Let's look at someone who found berries made a surprising difference in her daily routine. Eleanor Reeves, a 78-year-old retired piano teacher from Des Moines, Iowa, had been feeling unusually sore after gardening and struggled with muscle stiffness in the morning. She already ate a fairly healthy diet, but she rarely included fruit, especially not berries. After reading about the anti-inflammatory benefits of berries, she started adding a cup of blueberries to her morning oatmeal. Within a few weeks, she noticed less soreness, better energy, and even improved focus during her late morning piano practice. It was like I'd given my body something it had been quietly asking for, Eleanor said with a smile. Berries are easy to add to your day. Toss them on top of Greek yogurt. Blend them into a smoothie. Eat them fresh as a light morning snack. They're naturally sweet, but unlike muffins or juice, they support your health instead of stealing from it. And now, as we wrap up, let's take a step back. Think about your breakfast table. What's sitting there each morning? A cereal box? A muffin? A glass of juice? Maybe even that low-fat yogurt that felt like the healthy choice. It's easy to stick with habits we've had for years, especially when they're quick and familiar. But your body is always changing, and so must your routines. The foods you choose each morning do more than fill your stomach. They either fuel your muscles, support your brain, and steady your energy, or they quietly wear you down, day after day. That's why the breakfast swaps we've talked about today matter so much. You're not just replacing food. You're choosing strength over fatigue, clarity over brain fog, and mobility over stiffness. So tomorrow morning, instead of reaching for what's easy, reach for what keeps you strong. Maybe that's a bowl of oats with berries. Maybe it's toast with avocado and a side of eggs. Or maybe it's just skipping the juice and drinking a tall glass of lemon water instead. Whatever you choose, remember, small changes can lead to big transformations, especially when done consistently. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What's your current breakfast routine? Have you made any changes recently that helped you feel stronger or more energized? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe to Forever Strong Seniors for more insights that support healthy aging, smart nutrition, and a stronger, brighter future. Because you deserve to feel your best, not just today, but every day moving forward. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.